the max size plugin will allow us to constrain text within our scene. So we're going to go into our server and drag a font into our scene. We're going to go back into the built-ins, into the container plugins, and within our tools folder, there is the max size plugin. We're going to drag that onto our text container, and we're going to go into the max size editor here, or the properties window. What we have is a default X scale set to 1 by default and a default Y scale set to 1 by default as well. If we come in and decrease this, it will start to decrease the X scale and the Y scale of this font. And when you do that, when you go into the transformation editor here, you can see that the scale is now set to whatever the max size is. And if you try to scale it within the transformation axis editor, you can no longer do that because the max size takes over. So we can set the scale of the font with our default X scale and default Y scale. Now we have a max size down here that we can set to the X and or the Y. We'll set it to the X, and our max width allows us to set the maximum width that we want this font to go to. So if we only want 500, we can come in here to the max width, type 500, and then when we come into our text and start typing some more letters here, you can see that it reaches 500 and starts to scale down. Now within our max size, we can also scale that down proportionately by hitting the scale Y here. And now it will scale that text down proportionately so that when we continue typing in here, that it's no longer scaling down just on the X, but on the X and Y.